Across the ages of their ancient civilization, when cities were hewn from living stone and myths etched into crystal tablets, the Elven race raised their eyes to the firmament, finding within the silent constellations a source of prophecy, purpose, and wonder. In time, those distant lights, once markers of fate and witnesses to their earliest rites, became the beacons that guided them from their primordial star lore to the creation of the first vessel to breach the borders of their homeworld. This feat was born of reverence, curiosity, and the belief that whatever lay beyond was meant to be sought. Yet the most visionary and ambitious saw the stars not only as mysteries to illuminate, but as domains to command, opportunities of conquest, and power for anyone with the strength to seize them. This conviction, burning across generations, ultimately forged and defined the Armelion Empire. Of all the interstellar authorities within the Elven-controlled systems, none is more entrenched, influential, or emblematic of Elven ambition than the Armelion Empire. Primarily ruling from their homeworld Lilium within the star system Sidralis, the Empire is guided by a doctrine of expansion and shaped by a legacy reaching back to their earliest stargazers. The Empire has united the most prosperous, cultured, and technologically advanced worlds of Elven space under a single banner. Administering the largest span of territory, the Armelion Empire commands the greatest population, oversees the most sophisticated economy, and fields a military matched only by its mastery of magic-infused Elven engineering. In every respect, the Empire stands as the most defining might of the Elven-controlled systems, firm in its authority and unwavering in its purpose. Its mastery of interstellar logistics and vast infrastructural networks reinforces its expansionist principles. This prowess enables the Empire to inflict its will far beyond its borders. Supported by immense war fleets designed to traverse the cosmic streams, this capability ensures its vision of conquest is actively realized across the stars. Its citizens view the Armelion Empire as a realm of prosperity and opportunity, a bastion of order and advancement, yet they also recognize it as a formidable force willing and capable of bringing new societies under its dominion. The political framework of the Armelion Empire is found on a strict hierarchical meritocracy, an enduring reflection of an ancient Elven credo that authority must be earned, never merely inherited. Presiding above this entire structure is the Emperor, whose authority is both symbolic and absolute. While the Empire prizes merit above all else, the Emperor serves as the ultimate arbiter of policy, overseer of all councils, and guardian of the Empire's long-term vision. Every major decision, no matter how far-reaching or specialized, falls under the Emperor's watchful oversight. Directly beneath the throne sits the Imperial Council, composed of the Empire's most distinguished figures across the military, scientific, diplomatic, and administrative realms. These councillors rise through the decades of proven service, their ascent marked by exceptional skill, strategic insight, and unwavering loyalty to the dynasty. They advise, deliberate, and strategize under the Emperor's guiding authority. From the council, layers of governance descend across the empire, branching like a living tree. Planetary governors, regional overseers, and fleet commanders attain their posts through rigorous evaluation of leadership, judgment, and capability, ensuring their authority rests in competent hands. Advancement is earned through performance. Failure risks immediate demotion. This system fosters a culture of excellence, discipline, and accountability, ensuring that the Empire's leadership remains among the finest its civilization can produce. Yet it also fuels constant rivalry and political maneuvering, as ambitious individuals struggle to ascend the hierarchy and maintain their status in a system that rewards brilliance and is unforgiving for anything less. As the heart of Elven civilization, the Armelion Empire encompasses the widest range of Elven culture and identity. Its foundation lies with the purebloods, the core lineage whose influences shaped the Empire's earliest culture. Alongside them stand the Voidborn, descendants born closest to the celestial currents that inspired their ancestors to rise to the stars. Over time, others join the Imperial fold, whether through voluntary integration or Imperial mandate, including the Iblitz Elves, Orcs, and numerous other subspecies. The Purebloods and Voidborn wield the greatest influence, resulting in a strict caste system. This system regulates authority and reserves power for those deemed capable and worthy. It reflects the Empire's broader commitment to excellence, justice, and controlled dissent. Those in the lower castes form the backbone of the Armelion Empire's labor force. They handle agriculture, resource extraction, mining, manufacturing, and core duties that keep the Empire's vast territories running. Colonies supply raw materials, food, and industrial goods to the Imperial core, sustaining the economy and fueling its relentless expansion. The lower castes also make up the bulk of the Imperial armed forces. They fill the ranks of the infantry regiments and the naval crews that demonstrate Armelion might across the galaxy. Exceptions are made for talented and loyal individuals serving a greater purpose for the Empire. The upper castes, drawn mainly from Lilium and Voidborn bloodlines, enjoy stability, privilege, and opportunity. They hold influential positions as scholars, researchers, administrators, entrepreneurs, and officers. They guide the Empire's technology and shape its strategic aims. In this stratified order, each class has its place: the many who labor for the Empire's ambitions, and the few who direct its path ahead. The Imperial Arcanum functions as a secretive elite order operating under the Emperor's direct authority, answering to no council or commander but the throne itself. Drawn exclusively from pure-blooded Armelion and Voidborn lineages, its members are selected through a hidden and unforgiving process before undergoing a transformation that is both ceremonial and arcane. Armored in sigil-etched plate and wielding weapons infused with ancient magical energies, the Arcanum acts as a royal guard, covert enforcer, and final arbiter of Imperial will. The arrival on a battlefield or in political chamber is often enough to end resistance before it begins. The Imperial Army forms the foundation of the Empire's planetary warfare machine. Known for their discipline and ruthless efficiency, they oversee ground conquest, civil pacification, and long-term occupation across the Empire's expanding frontier. Promotions are earned through reputation and loyalty, creating a competitive command culture that rewards results above all else. Its forces rely heavily on a mana-driven mechanized infantry, armored formations, and specialized regiments trained to operate in nearly every environment the Empire encounters. The Imperial Navy remains the primary instrument of Armelion's strength. Its star fleets are both the spear point of expansion and the shield of the Empire's borders, securing trade routes, enforcing Imperial law, and ensuring the Empire's dominance across the cosmic streams. The Cerberus-class carriers stand in as the towering heart of the Armelion Empire's naval might, monuments of war and empire alike. Serving as both carrier and battleship, these capital-class vessels spearheaded the Empire's ascent, projecting dominance across the void through sheer presence and overwhelming firepower. Each ship's core is fueled by ionized mana reactors, their arcane energy coursing through conduits that sustain propulsion, shielding, and weapon systems in perfect balance. At the center of every Cerberus's bridge stands the Imperial ship Mage, a conduit between the sorcery and machine. Guided by the ship's commander, the Mage directs the vessel's energies flow, diverting power between attack, defense, and maneuver in the rhythm of battle. Together, commander and Mage turn the Cerberus into more than a warship. It becomes a living embodiment of the Empire's will, a fortress that breathes mana and judgment in equal measure. Together, these three branches form a military apparatus unmatched in the Elven-controlled systems, an engine of conquest guided by ancient ambition and imperial design. With the launch of the first star-faring vessel, the Armelion Empire carried not only elven ambition into the void, but a rigid belief in righteousness of its faith, culture, and way of life. Early encounters with other elven people revealed kindred spirits, most notably the Voidborn Elves, whose mana-rich worlds and ancient traditions aligned closely with the Armelion doctrine. Recognized as equals, their dynasties were invited into a unified elven order, bound by a shared belief and purpose. Others were not afforded such recognition. Elven kingdoms and lesser races whose customs were deemed heretical or barbaric among them, the Iblets elves and orcs, were stripped of sovereignty and placed under imperial guidance. This ideological ambition guided the Armelians into the War of Ascension, a formative conflict that tested the young empire and forged into the iron authority of the Elven-controlled systems. Victorious through zeal, discipline, and overwhelming force, the Armelion Empire emerged convinced of its divine mandate for rule. For 3 centuries, this certainty went unchallenged until the first contact with humanity began to erode the foundations of that belief. When they attempted to subjugate the self-governing Trickerians, they found unexpected resistance, with humans calling upon their most powerful ally, the Federation of Independent Systems, to defend what first seems to be Trickerian sovereignty, quickly became a war of survival for both the human and elven race. Following irrecoverable losses and a faltering foothold, the Empire's campaign against humanity approaches the most decisive juncture. Magic, once seen as unassailable, now proves insufficient against the Federation's persistent advances and mass-produced weaponry. With each campaign, the Empire surrenders territory and political influence, rendering the once unimaginable, inevitable, pressured. The Armelion Empire considers a peace settlement proposed by the Zalgorian government. As a neutral state where the humans and elves coexist outside Armelion territory, Zalgoriel's intervention stirs apprehension amongst many Armelians, who fear the agreement could erase Armelion independence and further facilitate Zalgoriel's expanding influence. For the Armelion Empire, pride weighs against survival, and faith contests reality as the Emperor and his council must decide whether to relinquish their centuries-long cultivation of power or cling to tradition and risk perishing with their honor intact. Discover their fate in the Heir of Time, a 3D animated series that blends the high fantasy genre with military science fiction. The pilot episode is set to release in 2026. To uncover more historical archives from the Nexus database, visit our website at www.theheirofTime.com and follow the Heir of Time on Instagram and TikTok. To connect with other Heir Keepers, join our Discord and share your allegiance. On behalf of the team at Just Productions, we thank you for listening. And remember, hearts to the stars.